Hey guys, welcome to another Wentworth quickfire video. Now I hope you're all doing really well out there today. Now in this video I am going to be answering some quickfire questions on Wentworth Season 5. So get yourselves comfy, this one's gonna be juicy. Favorite Season 5 character is 100% Frankie Doyle. I feel this is one of Frankie's best seasons, with the other one being Season 3. Now we see Frankie on quite a journey in Season 5. We see her living her life on the outside when the season begins, and then she ends up in this big crazy stalker storyline, and then the stalker ends up dead. Frankie, she gets the blame. She goes straight back into Wentworth just after the death of B. Smith, and Frankie knew that the women would want her to take over. I honestly feel like the women were expecting Frankie to take over, but Frankie only had one thing on her mind: proving her innocence, where we get to see so many different sides and emotions of Frankie. So yeah, Frankie definitely wins hands down. Season 5 is one of those rare seasons where we get hardly any new characters, so I don't really have a favourite new character for this season. I mean, there was only really Iman, and she was totally a nut job, and she wasn't one of my favourite new characters. I didn't really like her, so I'm not just going to say her name for the sake of it. So unfortunately, I cannot answer this question. Favorite storyline? Okay, for me, it has to be the storyline of CRAIGz and Will. Do you know when they finally start getting close after that brawler crash in the lake? It was about time that CRAIGz finally realised that Will, he is a good man, and that he wanted the same, as her for the women of Wentworth. And I honestly thought that, they were going to start a secret relationship at one point. I mean, I do think and believe that CRAIGz had romantic feelings for Will. Oh dear, it's just such a shame that bloody Mari Winter arrived in the next season and she ruined everything. My favourite Season 5 episode is episode 11. I didn't even have to think about it. So much happens in this episode. It's the one where Joan reveals everything to a very shocked Vera Bennett. Jake, he also tries to take his own life. The women, they've all had enough of Joan Ferguson and decided to put her on trial. Kangaroo court, I think they call it, but it just gets completely way out of control in ways that you could never predict or imagine. This scene where that rope is thrown and then you got CRAIGz screaming no, and then all of the other women are like yes, and they don't care, other than hanging Joan Ferguson in that yard in front of everyone, including the general manager who was watching from the governor's office. It was just insane. My favourite moment is definitely that final scene in the season finale with that very sad music playing, which always gives me goosebumps. And Joan, she's in the process of being buried alive, as you do, by none other than Will Jackson. OMG. It is one hell of a moment, and I always get a little bit teared up because of the music that they bloody play in this scene. It's really beautiful, but it makes me feel sad. It always feels very final for Joan Ferguson. This really was it for her, or so we thought. Has to be the moment where Vera ends up laughing in Juicy Lucy's face in the governor's office. Now, Juice, she wanted Vera to support her bid for top dog, and Vera just cannot contain her laughter and even says that, Juice, you would be the worst top dog in the history of Wentworth. She's laughing so much she could hardly get her words out, and it just gets me every single time. Now, how on earth Sally, who played Juice, managed to keep a straight face during that scene is beyond me. I mean, because Vera, Kate Atkinson was having a whale of a time. I'd love to know if there's any bloopers floating around of this scene. Oh, this is an easy one, unfortunately. It's the whole opening of the first episode of Season 5, where B is no longer with us, and we get that montage of everyone receiving the news of B no longer with us, and they're all breaking down, and they're crying, and the women, they then end up carrying flowers over to B's memorial. Frankie goes to the hospital to tell Ali. The song that they use is beautiful. I absolutely love it, but I do struggle to listen to it sometimes because it just makes me think of this opening scene instantly. As far as I'm concerned, this song that they use is B's memorial song. A standout performance for me is Ali Novak. There are actually two moments in Season 5 where you really feel Ali's emotion. Now, the first one is just after that big fight in the yard with Joan Ferguson, and Ali, she's in the hospital wing and she starts screaming and crying at the officers, or it could even be Vera Bennett, and do you know what? You really felt it. And then there's another episode where Ali, she tries to hotshot Joan but just misses out, and then Ali, she's laying on the ground with the shower running down on top of her, and she's screaming at Joan to just do it, just kill her, and it just breaks my heart, and it just really stands out for me. Oh dear, well, my least favourite character of Season 5 is Joan Ferguson, simply because I felt personally that Season 5 literally turned into the Joan Ferguson show, which, don't get me wrong, we got some fantastic moments from Joan, but we all wanted Joan to get some sort of comeuppance after what happened with B. Smith, and it just felt like for the most part of Season 5 that they turned her into this Michael Myers kind of character who was unstoppable for the whole season, apart from the final 2 episodes, and it felt like it was a big ask for the fans to have to wait so long for Joan to finally get her comeuppance. Ooh, this is a tough one. I've got two, and I'm really torn between the both of them. One of them is the big fight in the yard, and then the other one is Juice losing her tongue. But I think on this occasion, I am going to go with Juice losing her tongue. I can remember when Season 5 was airing, live week after week, and we were all being told to just wait until episode 6 comes around, and boy, it did not let us down. It's so gross, so gory, it's like a zombie horror film, yet it is a classic Wentworth moment, and it's even a classic Joan Ferguson moment. Now, I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall when Pamela Rabe first read her script about what she was going to be doing, just to see her reaction. For me, I've always wished that we had got to see just a little bit more of the women's reactions to B's death. Don't get me wrong, the montage that we have is beautiful. But can you just imagine watching and hearing Mr. Jackson's words, having to tell the H1 women what had just happened to B? Just think back to the moment where B was screaming just after Debbie's death. So, oh god, it would have been absolutely heartbreaking. If I could change anything, I would change that. I would change that immediate aftermath of B's death, just to be a little bit longer and to actually hear and feel some of these women's reactions. Not just the women, but the officers as well. Because B, she was such a massive character. Okay then guys, well that's the end of the Season 5 quickfire questions. Let me know in the comments box below what you thought of this video, and if you agree with anything that I have said, and if there are any questions that you would like to see me include in the Season 6 quickfire rounds, then you know what to do guys. Let me know in the comments box below, and I will see if I can include them in the next video. Okay then guys, thank you all for watching today's video. Make sure you smash that subscribe button, stay safe out there, and I'll see you all again very soon.